It's me, Mario! Hi everyone, it's me! And today, let's watch this video together! Let's start! Game Exchange! Culture Shock.
Hey everyone, 𝐿𝐴⁴𝐸⁴ here, and welcome to another episode of Analyzing Culture and Gaming. When it comes to the Mario franchise, the Theorists channel really has been busy at work trying to unravel this rather esoteric game world. I mean, MatPat has spent months explaining every detail of the Mushroom Kingdom's denizens, from Mario's antisocial behavior to Peach's bipolar disorder and obsession with kidnapping for kicks, to even the Toad's malicious intentions as a parasitic fungus. While I myself have been decrypting the various cultural origins of the characters, like Lakitu being a god of thunder, Bowser being a celestial Chinese dragon hybrid, and even the Whomps and Thwomp's origins as a yokai wall monster. But there's one more character I need to touch on. Someone who is far more powerful than Mario, Bowser, or even the interplanetary power of Rosalina, Princess Peach. Now, you can laugh in disbelief all you want, but even MatPat proved in his video, Toad's Deadly Secret, that Peach was one of the most dangerous things to occupy the Mushroom Kingdom. Play that clip for me, will you, Ronnie?
Why isn't she infected? Well, you already know the answer. I showed it to you a few minutes ago. Toad, the mushrooms, serve the princess.
So how and why is Peach, the ultimate damsel in distress, the biggest ditzy blonde in gaming, the most powerful entity in the Mushroom Kingdom?
The most powerful entity in the Mushroom Kingdom.
Ladies and gentlemen, I submit to you that Peach, the airheaded, do-nothing, mood-swinging, kidnapped, obsessed princess, is an insanely ultra-powerful goddess. A Japanese kami, to be specific. Oh, here we go. I just talk about Japan again. Better start typing my "your weeaboo trash" comment. But hey, don't take my word for it.
Peachy!
Even Peach's creator, Shigeru Miyamoto, based her off traditional Japanese concepts. In an interview celebrating the 20th anniversary of Mario and the creation of the DS game Super Princess Peach, when asked about her, Miyamoto had this to say. She's never seen herself as protected by Mario. Our image of her is one of strength. Many of the developers came from homes where the mother wears the boots, you know. Whoa, okay,
Wow.
hang on. Peach never considered herself protected? Her airheaded do-nothing attitude is an image of strength? How? I mean, granted, like Miyamoto said, the wife in the typical Japanese household is absolute, having power over the money her husband makes to a point where she gives him an allowance, but this is Princess frickin' Peach we're talking about, the biggest candidate for damsel most in distress. But consider this. For those of you well-versed in the Mario-Luigi series, you may recall in Bowser's Inside Story, while at a meeting to discuss how to eliminate the threat of the toad-fattening blorbs, Bowser comes crashing in to demand to be part of the roundtable discussion, since his kingdom is only a stone's throw away. After losing his cool, he gets clobbered by Mario as always, but this time something
Mario!
new happens. He ends up getting easily chucked out of the room with Peach's so-called wish power without a second thought. If she always had this kind of power, why did she ever rely on Mario for help? Well, the answer is she never really did. We learned in MatPat's video that the entirety of Super Mario Bros. 3, the game that truly defined the franchise, was nothing more than a stage play, theoretically all for the entertainment of Peach. Miyamoto himself confirmed in the Nintendo UK special Mario Myths with Mr. Miyamoto that Super Mario Bros. 3 was in fact a stage play. And every other time we've seen Peach being abducted, she never really tried to escape. Heck, she barely freaking moved! Game after game, it's more and more apparent that this is something she wants. But in all of the Mario games, it was made very apparent that if there was anything that got in the way of the status quo of her getting kidnapped by Bowser and Mario rescuing her, she did everything in her power to return things back to, quote, normal. From Smithy to Fawful to even Bowser getting in the way of trying to solve the Blorbs problem, Peach's true power came to light. Peach is powerful for certain, but what does all of this have to do with her being specifically a kami? After all, she could just be a generic goddess worshipped by the Toads, right? Well, she could if there wasn't one huge detail that's been overlooked in her above-mentioned game, Super Princess Peach, Mitama. Now, as previously mentioned in my Shin Megami Tensei breakdown, Mitama are 4 unique parts of the spirit of the kami, each one having their own abilities and acting as a particular emotional state of being. You have the Saki Mitama, which is the joyous part of the kami spirit that brings blessings, prosperities, and good harvests. You have the Kushi Mitama, which is the wondrous part of the spirit said to cause transformations and even curing illnesses. The Niki Mitama, which acts as the functional part of the spirit that allows for the progression of day-to-day life to be easier. Then you have the Ada Mitama, the angry, destructive part of the soul that causes natural disasters like widespread fires and high Richter scale earthquakes.
Oh, and tsunamis.
Altogether, they've been symbolized as drops of yellow, blue, green, and red. and they're constantly fighting and fluctuating with each other to act as the dominant mood of the kami. Now let's look at the above-mentioned Super Princess Peach. Guess what else is yellow, blue, green, and red? Her emotional states. And if you think that's the only connection between Kami Mitama and Peach's emotions, get a helmet on, because this might blow your mind. Let's start off with Peach's yellow emotional state, joy. Peach has the ability to fly and twirl in the air happily, and it gives her the ability to get to some very hard to reach places in order to get coins, items, or even missing toads. It basically allows you to gather more resources. Remember what the yellow Saki Mitama did? Blessed people with better harvests and more resources. Next is Peach's blue emotional state, gloom. This makes Peach literally cry waterfalls, but it's required for a few boss fights as well as navigating the levels. So creating ease for the natural progression of the game, right? Well, that sounds a lot like the blue Nigi Mitama's traits of making the progression of day-to-day life easier. Then you have Peach's green emotional state, calm, which restores her health. Ho hum, what did the green Kushi Mitama do again? Cure illness and restore health. Finally, you have Peach's red emotional state, rage, where she sets herself and her surroundings on fire while creating earthquakes every time she jumps and lands. And what did the red Adamitama do again? Oh, that's right, the exact same thing. It's the angry aspect of the kami that creates natural disasters like earthquakes and fires. But how come Japan hasn't completely buckled under the emotional turmoil that seems to be the Mitama's infighting over control? And if Peach is so emotionally driven, why has she spent 90% of her time in the core games acting like an oblivious airhead?
Oh my god! You did not just say that! An oblivious airhead! Oh my god! That rose! Ouch!
Surprisingly, both these questions have the same answer. Shinto priests and priestesses actually perform acts of worship that appease the kami to keep it calm and happy. Remember my Samurai Zombie Nation video a while back? That's a great example of a powerful kami not being honored and its Adamitama going nuts. Basically, it's the job of the Shinto priest and priestess to calm and placate the spirit of the kami 24/7 to prevent disaster. And this is why Peach is presented as such an airhead. It's because she's being pacified and placated by all the Mushroom Kingdom. It might sound crazy, but based off of what we know about Peach's emotional connections to the Mitama, her constant and sometimes destructive mood swings combined with her constant need to be kidnapped a la MatPat's research, I can only conclude that Peach's planned kidnappings are her way of being placated. We know by now that Peach wants to get kidnapped, and we know that when someone messes with the formula, Peach is front and center to use her power to reestablish the status quo. She's not mental, she's not in distress, and while you could say she's bipolar, Peach is powerful. Peach is a symbol of strength, and she's being placated, made happy, lest her unstable emotional states cause any number of problems in the Mushroom Kingdom. She doesn't act like an airhead because she's stupid, she's under a constant state of pacification by being worshipped by the toads on top of fulfilling her bizarre desire of feeling the thrill of being kidnapped. After all, when you're the unstoppable goddess of the known world, life sure would get boring, wouldn't it? And when Bowser kidnapped Mario, Luigi, and all of the toads in Super Princess Peach, he messed up royally, as she wasn't being worshipped in the way that had long since been established. By defying her will and disrupting the upkeep of Peach's emotional pacification, her emotions and Mitama were unstable, overpowering, and even destructive. And it was only after Mario and crew were saved and the status quo reestablished that Peach was back to being her usual happy, passive self. Thus, Bowser, Mario, and everyone else has their role to play in order to keep Princess Peach happy, placated, and pacified. I mean, if you think about it, the most powerful kami in all of Shinto, Amaterasu, is a woman, and her four Mitama are so powerful they actually have their own separate shrines within the Ise Shrine compound.
Wow.
How wild is that though, right? The biggest example of the damsel in distress trope in gaming actually turns out to be one of gaming's most powerful female characters. But what do you guys think? Is Peach actually an all-powerful goddess, or is she just an airhead to be saved? Let me know in the comments below. And while you're building your own thoughts and theories, let me give a quick shout out to this video's supportive sponsor, Loot Crate. These guys have been long-time supporters of my content, and by supporting them, you're also supporting my ability to create videos exactly the way I want to. With their subscription service of $20 a month, you get 6 to 8 items worth twice the price to your front door, and each box has its own individual theme. My DX box theme of Magical got me a sweet Game of Thrones hoodie, Witcher 3 solid pewter paperweight, vintage Doctor Strange print, Harry Potter metal bookmark, and a super soft throw blanket from Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them.
Wow.
While next month's box theme of Revolution promises awesome licensed merch from Luke Cage, Mr. Robot, Gears of War 4, and Assassin's Creed, so don't miss out. Head on over to lootcrate.com/culture and input the code CULTURE at checkout to get 10% off your purchase, and from my personal experience, these make great Christmas gifts. But don't wait, because the offer ends December 19th at 9 p.m. Pacific. But if you're looking for even more culture and gaming, click on those annotations and links in the description to not only check out more of my work here on the Game Theorists channel, but also my personal projects over on my own channel. But hey, after talking about Matt's crazy deep lore videos on Mario, you should totally go check them out if you haven't yet. But until next time, everyone, this is 𝐿𝐴⁴ signing out.
Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that this video has been very educational and knowledgeable for you guys to watch. If you do like this video, please remember to like, share and subscribe to my channel and comment down below if you have anything to share with us. Thank you so much and hope to see you in my next video. But hey, that's just a game exchange. Culture shock. Thanks for watching. Subscribe and don't forget to like my comment, to follow my channel as well. Thank you so much and sincerely appreciate all of your encouraging words for me. Thank you so much.